And then here's the studies really quick to kind of touch on this, since you brought up some studies of your own. All right, so this is a woman's age versus the age of the men who look best to her. So as a woman ages, she typically tends to find a guy a couple years, few years older than her, typically more attractive, although it does tend to change as they get in terms of what they, of the men who look best to her. And to your point, it doesn't necessarily mean that these are the men they're going to end up with or be in a relationship with, but this is what they find the most physically attractive. And then there's the man one, Nick, if you can switch over. A man's age versus the age of the women who look best to him. And then across all ages for men, you have men on the left there, even into their 50s, they prefer They prefer women in their early 20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but again, it doesn't mean that a 50-year-old can get a 22-year-old.
But it's also at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, they think they're more attractive, but they end up dating at the end of the day someone who's around their age.
Right, but if they have...
Where is that coming from, though? Is that just like a thought? Like, where is that coming from?
Media.
I mean, we see this. So if you look at like hyper successful men, for example, if you look at Leonardo DiCaprio, we had Tobey Maguire. If you could pull that up, Nick. Tobey Maguire, there was a bit of, he's 49. Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man, the best Spider-Man. He's dating a 20-year-old. And can you show us the next tab on? Do we have the next tab?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Okay, Tobey Maguire, I mean, terrible photo. They caught him impromptu. Okay, so he's 49, dating a 20-year-old. He's getting a bunch of flack for it. Men who have the capacity to... there's also... who's the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Oh, I forget.
Nick, could you Google that? What's his name?
It's like Anthony something.
Anthony Kiedis? Wait, what is his name? Chat? Lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers, just be like, his name, Anthony Kiedis, girlfriend.
It's easier to manage a younger woman.
I think it's, that's a perfect age physically for having children.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's like the...
but that's not why they're going for them. They're going because they're easier to manage.
I think they're hardwired to
procreate.
Yeah, to procreate with
the Just Jared one.
I think it's that they've been like influenced in society
Blue shirt.
for so long.
I think it's hardwiring because it's all of humanity.
Media.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, that's him. He's in his 60s.
I think it looks like his daughter.
Who is this? Anthony. I don't know who that is.
Anthony, I believe he's in his...
So for Andrew, he's marrying his daughter.
He's 61.
The social currency...
She's 20, yeah.
The social currency is in humanity, and speaking of not just modernity, but all of human history, is
why did somebody just say he was marrying his daughter?
It's going to be
young women.
Younger women with older men.
Young women are considered currency.
That can protect and provide for them and give structure and stability and have a home and a household. And then the women are procreating and they have that ability to do that. So, I mean, it's always been the disparity with that age gap throughout human history. I just feel like they're hardwired to see that as attractive in a partner.
Like he said.
Yeah.
I think it's also like societal values too, right? Like, because it's like society kind of brings and teaches men to like value youth, yeah.
Do you
And
think there's a biological basis for that?
infantile type characteristics.
Infantile.
Yes, they want hairless. They want hairless women, small, petite, like innocent, don't know shit.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Here, let me just turn this directly around on you.
Shaved.
I can just do the same sort of pathologizing towards women. So women who are desirous of tall men, they're incestophiles because they think of tall men, they think of their fathers. Or women who like big muscular men.
What if my
I'm just
dad's
using
short?
your same like ridiculous logic back at you.
But what if my dad's short?
Yeah, but what if you don't like hairless women, right? That's
Yeah,
the
but
same,
that's very rare. Like, let's be real. Like,
But
what
if
is
we're
all
only
the
going to point at
commercials have?
outliers when you're talking about
Women
a
only
society-wide phenomenon, then I just would
Yeah,
like
but
for you to
men
do this
value
for me,
that.
if you don't mind. If you don't mind, can you name for me any society anywhere that you can think of that prefers hairy women who are fat? Can you name one?
Like ancient societies?
Yeah, name any.
Okay,
any.
like let's look at all the sculptures in history.
Italian.
Back
Okay.
in history, if we look at like what was painted in history,
They were not
it was
obese.
different values. Like
were
there
not
were no, they
obese.
were bigger.
Okay,
They
great,
weren't
great.
skinny.
Hang on. I'll just grant it.
Yes, sir.
Can you name a single society which valued hairy, fat women?
Italian
let's-
during the
Yeah,
Renaissance.
let her answer.
During the Renaissance, being heavier.
Let her
fat-
answer.
Yeah, like the women that were especially bigger were seen as wealthier, like having more.
Yeah, what society was
more.
this?
I don't know, like
Italian.
I don't know what it was, but it's true. We can look it up right now.
Why don't we allow each other to help us with the answers?
True.
Italian.
Also,
You
like
don't-
it's
the thing
true.
is,
It's true.
like
You can look it up
you
right now.
can come in after
know
the
it is.
exchange is done. If you have a rebuttal, you can come in and be like, actually, I know the society, Andrew. You don't because they don't exist. But you could do that after the exchange is done, right? But I'm not arguing with 6 people at once because I can't even understand the arguments then. So I just argue with one person at a time, which is totally reasonable. So back to this. Can you name a single society which values hairy, fat women? I'm waiting.
So I don't know
Name
if I
one.
can know a specific society, but I know that it was a thing.
Wait, I have a question for you.
So out of all the societies which you're aware of, are you aware of the Roman society?
Yes.
Okay, great. Did they take up most of the world?
Almost.
Are you aware of most of the European societies which exist today?
Yeah.
Are you aware that there was barbarian societies which existed?
Yes.
Are you aware that there was Viking societies which existed?
Okay. Where's
So
the
these
point
are
gone?
massive societies. They spanned the entire world, many of them. Can you name any of them which really valued hairy, fat women?
Let's look at the art.
Answer
first
the
of all.
question first and then ask one.
Harry, first of all, women, they don't have as much
Can you
testosterone
answer the question
and hair.
first?
Or testosterone
Answer
isn't
the
hair, but, like,
question
they don't.
first.
Listen, you're trying
I'm
to drag
listening, but
me
you
into
won't
a
answer the
place
question.
because you want to lead me somewhere.
I
and
just
what I'm
want you
going
to
to say
answer the
first
question.
is no, right? Because women don't have as much
No.
hair as men. Like, biologically, they don't. But the
So then
value,
Brian's right, and there's a
the
biological
value,
basis
though.
for
Like,
why
let's
men
be
would be
real.
attracted to
ask men,
that.
Like,
Oh,
ask
got
10
it.
men
That
in the
makes
group,
sense.
like, do you like hairy armpits on women? They're going to say
No.
no.
Wait, I have a question for you.
So
are you-
Brian said there might be a biological basis. You say, no, I don't think so. I think it's pathologized through society. And then when I give you tons of the most major, massive societies that you're aware of, you can't name a single one of them that didn't appreciate that and then say, oh, because it's biological that women have less hair. That means Brian's right.
I'm saying within like pictures in history, you're not going to see like a long ass hairy armpit. Like it's not visible like that. But guess
What do you
what?
mean
They
it's not
have
visible like
bushes.
that?
They have bushes. That's one thing you will see on a damn sculpture and
I'm
a
sorry,
painting.
did Romans make statues of women?
I don't know. I can't
You
be
don't know?
specific. I can't go back to
You
my
were aware of
history
their
book right now.
society a
Give me
second
a damn
ago.
computer or something. Like,
Yeah, so Romans made statues of
You
women.
have a computer.
And they were naked. They were naked statues of women. You're aware of this, right?
yes, okay.
Yeah, and
they
you
had
realize
bushes.
that this was
They
thousands of
probably
years
have hair,
ago,
but you
right?
can't see it.
They still apparently did not like obese, hairy women. They still apparently didn't like that. So it's like the standard has existed. It's almost some kind of like objective standard for thousands of years.
I have a question for you. So, okay, is your argument then that men who are attracted to women with light body hair or who shave down there, are you making the argument that they're P words?
No, I'm saying that in society, youth is valued in women. Among
yeah, but
women,
you said something
right?
along the lines of what was your...
Infantilizing women. That's how society is.
So if you have sparse body hair or you shave down there, that's something of an infant.
To society standards, it doesn't have to be a conscious thing. It can be subconscious within a thing, right? But to society, it's youth that's valued, and whatever is younger, youth appearing, is going to be valued.